Hi Tauruses, this is Molly with Soul School Tarot and Astrology, and I am here with you guys today for an August 2020 general tarot card reading for you guys. So instead of the new moon and full moon readings this month, I do have astro forecasts coming up for you guys. Full moon is out there. New moon, of course, will be coming up right before our new moon in Leo on the 18th. But I'm going to be focusing on the general readings. They'll be a little longer. There's going to be extended. Link to that is in the description below. And then I'm going to get you guys the paired up love and prosperity readings, just like I did back in July. So definitely keep an eye out for those. And then like other fun stuff that's coming up this month. We actually have a couple of changes in signs. I don't know why I'm talking about that right now, but Mercury moves into Leo and Venus is moving into Cancer. So there's going to be a lot of like heart and emotion, heart and soul kind of stuff coming up when it comes to the way in which we interact with other people. I just felt like that was a message that needed to come out for you guys. So nonetheless, thank you guys for being here. It's for Taurus sun, moon, and rising signs, or anybody else with a whole bunch of Taurus in their chart. If you're not so sure about your chart, there is also a link in the description box so you can get one of those. And then if you want to have a reading done, you can hit me up at my website. The information is also below. And yeah, I'm just super glad to have you guys here. So stay tuned. Also, I want to go ahead and say something real quick about my intro to tarot and intro to astrology courses that I am going to be launching on Patreon beginning in September. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, and lots more info is coming out about that. For you guys today, Taurus, I really felt drawn to this, what is it called? Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. I love this deck. Are we going to take both of those? Okay. Just because I was feeling it. Okay. This is going to go in the background. The Eyes of Beauty. I try not to look at the picture because the guy creeps me out, but I feel like Venus energy is very, very important right now. Maybe it's because I just did Libra and I'm jumping right into Taurus, and those are my two Venus ruled signs. But for some reason, Venus moving into Cancer is very, very significant. My personal Cancer is in the first degree. I'm sorry, my personal Venus in my natal chart is in the first degree of Cancer. So I know that's going to be a big deal for me. But for all you other Tauruses, Cancer and Taurus have this really beautiful resonance with one another. They're both very, very feminine, very receptive, very loving, very generous, very giving, very sensitive signs. Taurus and Cancer are, all right? So our sign ruler, Venus, moving into Cancer, I think that's the energy that I'm picking up on here, okay? Intuition is going to be very, very strong for you guys. And the picture that I'm seeing right now is that is opening up the doors to some shadow work, okay? Shadow work to me is that it's a process of empowerment wherein we realize that there's a self-sabotaging behavior that we partake in, or a pattern or a way of thinking or a value system, something that served us in the past, but it actually works against us now, right? But where did that come from? How did that begin? And how can I change that? That is not easy work because a lot of that hides in the shadows. It's down in our subconscious. This is a lot of what I do in my readings, is trying to help you guys, you know, bring that out, because I tell you what, the cards speak in the language of the subconscious. All right. So shadow work is the process where, like I say, you got all this emotional baggage and you store it. It's all in these boxes in your basement. You got to go down there and shine some light on it and like figure out what's in this box. Label it. You're going to take it off, you know, to the Goodwill or throw it out to the curb, right? You got to just get down in there and figure out what is the actual root of this self-sabotaging behavior. And then once you clear that away, get ready for your own power. the power that you guys are going to step into is tremendous. And actually, you guys, I love how Spirit is just talking and fluid. It's not like blah, 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 and too much. I love the way this message is coming out right now. So thank you guys so much for being here with me. All right. The first card I got was this Dreamwalker. This makes me feel like this is the first sign that there is, you know, just some inner work to do. Okay. I'm getting a couple things here just because of the color scheme. Ringmaster of Scrutiny is coming out left next, or he's the third card to come out. I love this card. Give me a minute and I'll talk about him. Okay. But this Dreamwalker card, it says dreams, the collective good, illusions. All right. So this is something that's taking place maybe in your dream space, maybe in your intuitive space, maybe in your emotional space. But it's basically, it's a tugging. I don't know how else to say it. Like you know what an intuitive nudge feels like? I'm like, I get them all the time. But I know not everybody is as tapped into their guides as I am. So it might be synchronicities and signs, right? But it's something in that, I want to call it, it takes place in our moon space, because our moon space is where we dream. It's where psychic information comes in, where we communicate with guides, where we go when we astral travel, right? That's the space where this awareness is growing, that there's two things happening. One is it's a new dream, a new vision of the future, of what you are capable of manifesting, what you want to manifest. But then it's this little intuitive nudge where the universe is just like, excuse me, I don't know if you realize that you do have this self-sabotaging behavior that will stand in the way of this new dream. Okay? So I might even write down, you guys are just wanting to dream new dreams, but you realize there's some sort of internal change that has to take place. They're showing me the Hierophant, which is the card of Taurus. Taurus, and it's a card of our value systems, right? And the things we've been taught. And knowing right from wrong. And it's also, I don't know what, that's fun. I just got the phrase, it's a bucket full of shoulds. It's a bucket full of shoulds. Okay, you know what I mean? I should do this. I should do that. I should have a better relationship with this person. I should be able to change my attitude about that. You know what I mean? It's when society teaches you what you should and should not do. And you realize there's something in there that's got to go. And I praise you for that. It feels good. Like the clairsentience that I'm getting right now, like my heart, oh my God, you guys, this is a beautiful, like, as far as me delivering the experience of delivering this reading, I'm like feeling these beautiful feelings. But also, do you see that star? Yes. I love how she's like, oh, oh my God. The imagery, you guys. She's playing a flute. I thought she was just kind of like playing with her hair and like saw a star and was like, oh my God, you know what? Yes, that's my dream. That's my vision. But what's going on is she's playing a flute. She's trying to call forth something from the universe. Okay. And there's two animals here. Maybe three, but I can't see that one very well. All right. One is a dragon, you guys. And to me, dragon represents just a belief in magical things. Okay. Actually, the dragon represents different things in different contexts. But in this one, the dragon, because this is a very like Daenerys Targaryen, I used it for some of my other readings this month, but I have my Game of Thrones tarot out. And if you aren't familiar with the whole story of Game of Thrones, there's this particular element that I think really represents something I've been going through in my life, but also, and it's coming up in this card. All right. Like at the beginning of the whole series, people are like, oh yeah, dragons don't exist anymore. Dragons used to exist, but dragons don't exist anymore. And somebody gives Daenerys Targaryen these 3 dragon eggs And she believes in them. She believes in them. And also, like, there's other things about, like, you know, the secrets to how dragons get born that I don't want to spoil for you. It's a lot of fun, okay? But she takes care and then, like, ends up freaking people out when these dragons are born. And as soon as the dragons are born, because dragons have been extinct, you know, for however long, as soon as dragons re-enter into the world, it's like the world becomes a more magical place. And I'm not trying to get too far out there with you guys, but something has happened in the universe. Okay? Like this year in 2020, yeah, there's a lot of hectic, a lot of chaos, but there's also if you focus your attention on just a different level, a different plane of like what's going on right now, there is more magic in the world than there's been in a very, very long time. Okay? I truly believe that. It might just be like the whole like witch movement or like, you know, kids on TikTok doing past life regressions and stuff like that. I am here for it. But what's happened is it's almost as if the entire collective consciousness of Earth has become so much more willing to accept the existence of magic. And you, in this environment, it's almost like you're playing a new song. You're like, you know what? I have this new dream. This heron here, I talked about the heron in my last Taurus reading, actually, because I think I just had my experience where I was out on the river all day. There was this beautiful heron, and it actually dropped a feather onto the river. Like, my boat just went right past it and I picked it right up. It represents a state of liminality. Oh my God, you're right. And what is amazing about a state of liminality is there's so much potential for creation and for magic. Okay? Liminality, by the way, I didn't define it for you guys, is the state between two worlds, right? So like, pay attention to that state between dreaming and being awake. Do you guys ever do that? Like, you're like, oh man, I'm kind of starting to wake up, but I'm still half in the dream world. And like, you want to go back to the dream world, but you end up going back towards being awake. That state in between is a liminal state. And I believe like whatever's going on in the cosmos right now, this is a liminal state that we are in. Okay. Lots of people have interesting theories about timelines and dimensions, and I'm not going to get into that here, but it's a magical place. The world is a more magical place than it's been for a long time. And with that light shining in, you're beginning to see, first of all, that you've been magical all along. But you see these bars on the window, what has kept you from flying out the window is, like I said with the Hierophant card, a bucket full of shoulds. I should keep my magic to myself. I should shrink myself in this situation so that it's not so full of resistance for me, right? How many times have you made yourself less magic because you felt like that's what you should do? This is a good realization to make, because unlocking that energy right there, look, we've got the ring master of scrutiny. This guy is really interesting because his face, and you'll see it, his face looks really young, but his hair is all gray. He is a magician meets the hermit. And do you see, look, that's you doing your shadow work. You realize that there's still this part of your mind in which you're still being kept underground. Okay? But look at this magic right there. There you are, as that fairy. Same person, right? I don't know how to explain this, but it's freaking beautiful. So he's a combination between the hermit and the magician. And what that fairy is doing there is it's almost as if he's shrinking the fairy image. Like he's not, it's like you're like, you know what? I'm not just a little fairy. I'm this freaking magician. I am this amazing hermit magician. And it's a 9. It's about personal fulfillment, clear vision, details, discernment. Okay, you start off playing this little flute like do 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 do, and then you realize, oh my gosh, do you know what? I am really, really powerful. I'm actually very powerful. You're realizing how fully you fit into this magical world. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Where shall we go? Okay, I'm gonna get a couple cards out of, I guess. Okay, they want me to continue, actually. Oh, with every reading, I get pulled towards another deck, and so now I have like 8 decks on the table. So I am gonna go ahead and get out that Game of Thrones tarot, because why not? It's a magical world. These cards right here, the ones I just went over, by the way, that's kind of just like a general energy. What should you expect in August 2020? And then these cards are going to talk about the energy moving from the past into the present, knowing that timelines are fluid. Yours might be a little different, okay? Just understand, like, this present might be your past. Who knows? So moving in the past, that's too many, please. I'm sorry, moving from the past. What we've got, actually, we have the Page of Coins. I understand. We have the Page of Coins reversed and then the Four of Cups. I love this energy, you guys, because I really feel like there's some guide energy here. Being represented in this card and these cards. And if you know, yes, thank you. If you know who Littlefinger is, it's just kind of surprising that he's the one showing up at the guide. Here's Daenerys Targaryen marching through the magical world, realizing how significant of a role she can play in this new magical world. All right. So much potential, so many options available, right? By the way, this, if you don't know this character, Bran, he is having psychic visions. Like, he basically, like, astral projects into a bird's body and he can see into the past. He has so many amazing magical abilities, okay? So there's a lot of that going on around you guys. That's why this Venus in Cancer energy is so significant. What I'm seeing is at some point in the past, you got this, I'm seeing this as a nudge from your intuition, right? You see how he's catching? Like, oh, I got it, right? You weren't trying to catch that. Whatever. Or it might have been like you tried to get into some sort of, I want to say, spiritual practice, philosophy, manifestation, spell casting, whatever it is. And it didn't, like, there was a lot of, I don't know what to do. I'm not really skilled in this. I don't know if I have what it takes. Or just like a no thank you. Because that's what this Four of Cups ultimately is a no thank you. All right? Now, we're going to completely divorce this image from the story that's actually going on in Game of Thrones. And the story that it's telling me right now is that this offer was extended to you with these cups. I understand. They are, did I talk about the moon space? I talked about the moon space. This is moon space energy, okay? Dreams, intuition, emotions. I feel like at the time that this was going on, it was just emotionally a lot for you. And you were like, I'm not sure I can really step into this. But see who that guy is. That's your guide. Okay, so then This is your guide. Almost like, look at this. This water is representing even, this is your dream space. He's calling in ships. May I say with this dream walker? He's calling in. It's almost like spirit or somebody in your life, who knows, was trying to get you to step into something. And you're like, nah, I can't. So they call in for reinforcement, so to speak. I almost feel like this is a guide calling in for some sort of spiritual reinforcement. And there are all the ships on the horizon. Now, this is where this shadow work energy is very, very important. Because you've got to break free from, look at this, the prison wave. Not feeling good enough or feeling restricted, restricting yourself. Look at this guy. Yeah, chains and dungeon and all that stuff. You got to get yourself out of the dungeon. And look at you. Look at you in the future. This is you moving forward in victory. This is you finally feeling, like I said, at place and empowered in this new magical world that you're finding yourself in. And look at that. Look how those colors and even like, you know, the hair. This is really beautiful. And once you begin to step into that and accept your magical self, that came up with Libra, unicorn stuff, all right? It's almost as if this shows up on the scene, okay? And it is you kind of scanning your environment and locking eyes with a goal, a skill. Maybe you just want to learn about ancient Egypt. Maybe you're just really suddenly drawn to like ancient alien hypotheses or something like that, right? Taking off the helmet that he was wearing so that he could see more clearly what's out there. Okay? See here, she's not trying to look at that cup at all. But it's almost like, oh my gosh, now that I did, not only am I moving forward victoriously in this energy, but now I'm scanning the environment to really get a good look at what's inside of the cup. You guys, I love this energy so much. I am going to pick up the card that just fell on the floor before I head over to the extended. Potential. Look at this. You have so much tremendous. I want it to zoom, darn it. There we are. You see that beautiful mountain with all those stars beyond? It's almost, oh my gosh, as if right now, like, so this, oh my gosh, this is a powerful message. Now I got to get that off my screen. Okay. So in the daylight, this guy's scanning the universe and he's like, yeah, that thing, I want to go check that thing out some more, right? But this is all very much in the daylight. Once you begin to investigate it from the moon space, you begin to see that it's a much bigger vision than you initially imagined, okay? Because that pyramid or whatever is being represented by this mountain, right? And beyond it are stars. Right now you look beyond and there's just more land. But beyond it, when you look at it in the dark, when you look at it in your moon space, oh my gosh. Taurus, I love this reading. I'm going to go ahead and finish it over on Vimeo, okay? I love you guys. I hope I see you there, but if I don't, I will see you back here again soon, okay?